Serena P might be headed to paradise and she already has a strategy in mind. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have to talk about Serena P's plans for paradise, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Gabby, and I'm joined by Fiona Zaring today. Okay, so we came to love Serena P after her and Matt James started to fall in love, but after having doubts during her hometown date, Serena P sent herself home. This might not be the last we see of her, though. As we know, The Bachelor is in the middle of casting its Paradise Contenders, and Serena has not been confirmed yet, but she has a game plan if it were to happen. So, before we get into all of the details of her plan, Fiona, I want to know, what do you think if we did see Serena P on the beach?
I don't know. She was, for some reason, one of those people that I just wasn't picturing in my head. I feel like she could be great. She was such a sweet girl. She had a really great personality. But she just, eliminated herself from the process. So I kind of just I was thinking about so many other people from that season. But I have to say, I think she could be really, really great. I think she's one of those girls that, is pretty drama free, is a real sweetheart. I could see her getting to the beach and coupling up and becoming the mom of the beach, right? She's very mature, she's very sweet. So I think she could be great. I feel like she was one of the women from that season that I was consistently rooting for, really impressed with. So I would love to see more of her.
Me too. That's a good point. I think other than someone like Kit, who sent herself home because she wasn't ready for an engagement, I think with Serena P, she sent herself home with Matt because, as she said herself, you're just not my person, right? But she could certainly find someone who is her person down on the beach in paradise. So let's get into now what she says will be her strategy if she gets there. In an interview with Screen Rant, she said, quote, "I would go in with a very open mind. I think it's easy to look at someone and think they're really attractive, but I'm definitely someone who bases a lot on chemistry and interaction." Now, this is totally true. We remember her and Matt's tantric yoga date where the chemistry and the vibes were just very off, right? And that's when she and us, the viewers, started doubting their connection. So, do you think that most people base interest on attraction alone, or is chemistry obviously a huge important part of it? And is she on the right track here when she's looking for that while trying to date someone new?
Oh, I absolutely think chemistry, hands down, most important thing. You can think someone is the most beautiful person alive, not even just physically. You can be super attracted to the way someone looks and someone's life, how they present themselves, their job, their lifestyle, their hobbies, their passions. All of that can be super attractive. But if you don't click, if there's no spark, or if the spark, is based on that, but then can't get to the next level, I just think a relationship is going to be doomed. How do you get through those tough moments? How do you keep entertaining each other? Without the spark, without the connection, it's just not long lasting. So I think that's a really smart mindset, a way to approach things. We saw her go into something with Matt, be clearly attracted to him, clearly attracted, to his attributes, his lifestyle, who he was as a person. But when she felt like it just wasn't clicking, she knew it wasn't going to be right. So I think she would be super wise in paradise to keep up that same strategy, because it just leads to long-lasting relationships, right? Are we having fun in the moment? Sure, you can be totally there based on attraction. But if you're trying to get long-term relationship out of something, it's got to be the whole package. So I think she's got it all figured out, honestly.
Me too. And of course, on The Bachelor, they do have some crazy dates like a tantric yoga or some other random dates that they put on during Paradise that kind of forces you into that scenario to think, do I have chemistry with this person? Is this not just a fun date? You really have to look down in another layer. So hopefully she'll get that chance. Serena also said Paradise is an environment where she would thrive thanks to her personality. She said, quote, "I have a very bubbly, outgoing personality in a group of people. I'm definitely an extrovert. I'm not necessarily the loudest in the room, but I'm very social and I like talking to people." So do we think that this helps when you're down in paradise? If you're a little more quiet or on the introverted side, is that going to be more difficult for you to meet friends, meet guys, and try to date people down there? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think bubbly is the perfect adjective to describe her. She is bubbly. I think she's the kind of person who doesn't walk into a room and like demand attention, right? Oh, everyone look at me. I've walked in, so like all eyes are just going to be on me. I'm the entertainer, right? But she is the kind of person that if she's sitting down in a group of 4, 5, 6, by the end of that, she's going to have talked to everyone, made a good impression, left her mark. And I think Paradise, at the end of the day, it's kind of a free for all, but with really high
Mhm.
stakes, right? Like, be on the beach, have fun, meet people, fall in love. But by the way, if you don't, you're going to be kicked out of here really quick. So it's all about making those quick connections, making a lasting impression, and honestly, charming people, right? You've got to charm people enough to want you around. And that's something that I think she could do hands down for sure.
It's definitely a free for all. You're right. I think if you see something and you want it, you have to go after it or else somebody else will, right? That's a really tough situation, but that's what you're dealing with when you're in Bachelor in Paradise. Serena is also excited not only about the potential for a romantic relationship and dating someone, but also the friendships that you can make on Paradise as well. She said, quote, "There's going to be a lot of amazing guys to meet on the beach this summer, and then there'll be a lot of great girls to potentially make friendships with." Now, I personally think she's overlooking the fact that there will also be a lot of girl drama and potential for fights and, breaking friendships and things like that. There's always that possibility when you're trying to date the same guy or drama's happening. But do we think, since she came from Matt's season, which was one of the most drama filled ever, is it impossible to make friends on a season of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette because you're all competing for one person? And is it more likely to make friends down in Paradise?
This is something that I constantly think about every season because you see such strong seeming friendships emerging on The Bachelor, on The Bachelorette. The cynic in me is always just like, but I don't get it. Like, it's not that I don't believe you, it's just I don't get it. How can we see it sort of dwindle as the number gets smaller and smaller and smaller, but how can you be BFFs with someone while hoping that in like 5 days, one of you is engaged to the guy you both love, right? It just like feels like it's stretching things a little too far. It's a little too hard to wrap your mind around. I think we do see, especially when the number is much bigger, girls who, kind of find each other when they're not sure if they have a connection with Matt yet. That friendship becomes strong. They're able to lean on each other. And then if they get eliminated a little more early on, those friendships can continue to thrive. And then we also see in Bachelor Nation something I really love, girls that don't necessarily super get along on the show,
Mhm.
developing really great friendships after the fact. I feel like Peter's season is a really great example of that. I'm constantly seeing women on Instagram who were not friendly during the season, all of a sudden doing girls trips together, right? And being
Yeah,
super
me
close.
too.
So it is possible, right? I mean, it definitely is a very unique experience that you all go through. That being said, Paradise, way easier to make friends. Totally with you, there will be drama, but the environment is like not every woman for herself against the same man. So I think it's an easier environment there.
I think so too. With that being said, then, which of the girls who we've talked about might be down in Paradise? Who do we think would get along best with someone like Serena P?
Oh, I don't know. So Serena to me is just one of those really friendly faces. I know Brie, also from Matt's season, kind of danced around like she's not sure that she would want to be involved in the franchise again. But I think they were two women, at least on Matt's season, that stood out to me as like there's something there, there's a friendship. And maybe if you remove the competing for the exact same guy, those two I feel like could really become two peas in a pod in Paradise. And, in terms of some of the other women, I know like there are whispers that they want someone like Becca Kufrin to maybe go and be on the beach. And I think, she has a great personality. She seems super fun, super friendly. I could totally see her and Serena hitting it off. I just think Serena has one of those easygoing, like she, described herself, bubbly personalities where if you're not really getting in her face and causing her problems, she can get along with you. So I think she's going to do really great.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. Unless you're going after her man or starting a whole thing, I think Serena P can be friends with anybody. I think some other girls that would be great would be maybe Hannah Ann or Maddie P. They're also very bubbly and fun, so I could definitely see them being friends with Serena P. But we're going to have to wait and see if she actually makes it down on the beach and see if any of our theories are true once that happens. That's all we have for you guys today in this update about Bachelor in Paradise. Of course, we're keeping a close eye on who is going to end up on the beach. Let us know in the comments, who do you think is going to be good friends with Serena P if they go there? Or which of the guys might she end up with if she tries to date someone? Let us know. And before you go, make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. I'm Gabby Ganta, joined by Fiona Zering today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.